Welcome to the MMHP in the 989, channeling all styles and eras of Michigan music history. Recorded live inside the Rock Legends Hall of Fame in Bay City, Michigan. Featuring Dr. J, Sir Fred, Mr. Mike, and your host, Scott Baker.
Thank you for returning here to the MMHP in the 989. We want to thank you for tuning into part one with Rick Stevers and Frijid Pink. And here in part two, we get to talk to Rick more about the history, recording in California and New York, the bands he's hung out with, like the Guess Who and Gordon Lightfoot and Janis Joplin, Don Brewer help. There's some serious, though, backstory, though, that Rick shares with us about his father, how he ran the band, how the band changed to different members without his ability and input, as well as how it all ended with his father. But on the bright side, Rick did get the name back. You'll hear that whole story, meeting and partying with Sammy Davis Jr. and meeting Sinatra, but also being a worker for Chrysler for 17 and a half years. So much to get into here. Maybe you can help him find the lost photos from his era, too. And he met Eric Burdon and the Animals, who you'll find out if they like the House of the Rising Sun from the other band that did it so well. But here we go, part two with Rick Stevers right here in the MMHP in the 989.
So, how long does it take you after you got deserted by your lead guitar player and lead singer that you got a group together again? Yeah, that must have been a major letdown to have something like that happen.
Well, the bass player stayed with me. We kind of like pick groups. We go out and listen. The old man did most of it. And he was really good at picking the wrong talent. We had one group together at one point that sounded great on stage, had a good personality, couldn't write music. I mean, absolutely wrote nothing with this band. What he had done is he took a band and kind of made them Frijid Pink with me playing. And I didn't have any say about it. Matter of fact, I didn't even say about a lot of stuff until 2008 when I reformed Frijid Pink and was able to do my own stuff my own way. And that's finally when I was pretty happy about what was going on with the music. Before that, I had tried many times to interject, what you need to do this, you should do that, we're not doing this, we need to do that. Like cameras. Well, no cameras. Come on, we need pictures. No, didn't listen. And I had a song that I wanted to put out real bad called Dancing in the Streets, Martha and the Vandellas. I wanted to do that really bad. For years, I begged them, come on, man, we got some extra studio time. Let's do this song. So we do the song. We get home, walk downstairs. What's on the radio? Captain and Tennille doing Shop Around. I said, shit. The day we record it, they released it, and it was already getting airplay. So it was like a done deal.
Now, Beaudry and Thompson, nothing ever happened, for all their big talk, nothing ever really happened with anything that they put together, right?
No, they came back, and they had a couple local bands. Bullfrog, I think, was one of them. I don't know. They were in and out of a lot of stuff. But no, same thing I can say. No. Nothing happened with the groups I put together either.
Well, you did have that version of Frijid Pink that put out Earth Omen, which was kind of a departure from what the band had recorded before, more like progressive rock.
And that was still with Tom Harris, the bass player.
Right.
Larry Zelenka was doing keyboards. Craig Webb was a guitar player. And excuse me. He's the singer. Can't think right now. There's so many guys go through this band, but Craig Webb and John Waring. John Waring was a singer. Craig and John are both gone now. And that's a sad thing to think about when I start thinking about the old times with the records and what was going on back then. And that was a total departure from what was going on. I think it was a little bit more intense music. The simpleness had changed, and the keyboard actually made the music a little bit more intricate and more melodic probably. And a lot of people didn't like that. But nowadays, I see people on Facebook and this and that and this thing. Oh, that was a great album. Well, back then they thought it was horrible. So, and I listened to, I probably haven't heard that in 40 years, but I remember there was a couple songs on the album I thought were pretty good.
Yeah.
And
What was the inspiration to go that route?
New guys.
Just new guys, fresh blood,
guys,
the keyboards.
Yeah, new guys, new ideas, and a keyboard.
Okay.
And I've never really wanted a band without a keyboard after that. I just think it adds so much to the group.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good addition to all the music that we were doing.
So then the follow-up is All Pink Inside.
Yep.
Did you then go back to the older sound, or did you
It was
continue kind of do the
halfway
progressive
in between.
stuff? Okay.
So we had a whole new group again. And
This is Tom Harris leaves the band at this point?
yes, Harris is gone. No, yes, Harris is gone. Booter's gone. Thompson's gone. Joe Baker, unknown. Deep voice, and I didn't particularly care for that at the time. Papa Luzio was the bass player. I think Craig White was still playing guitar. There was some okay songs on it. We did not get the sound that we wanted to get out of the studio, and I believe that was recorded at the Osmond Brothers private studio in California. The engineering wasn't what I thought it should be. Like the drums sounded like cardboard, just like the first 4 albums or first 3 albums, and weren't real happy with it. And that led to us finalizing our deal with that record company at that point. And they said, "Okay, we're done." And that
So you stepped away from music at that point? And
was it. For a short time.
okay.
Never really gave up on it, but yeah, I kind of walked away and got a real job for a while.
What'd you do?
I worked at Chrysler's for program management. It was a good gig. Learned
How'd
a
you
lot.
slip into that from a musician standpoint?
Well, I was always a car guy,
Okay.
and it was funny because we'd go like to Australia and out of town wherever we went to. Oh, you're from Detroit, man? Did you work for the car companies? No, but I always wanted to. And then I come back, and it's funny because I'm into old cars. I got an old 70 Chrysler 300 convertible now, and had one back in the day, and I ended up working at the plant that car was actually built at,
Oh, wow.
Jefferson North Assembly Plant in Detroit. So, yeah, it worked out pretty cool. Yeah, but I did get away from it for a while, but 3 years into working for Chrysler, I had already started putting a band back together. Matter of fact, I had Craig Webb back, and unfortunately it didn't work out because he was into too much stuff to relax himself at the time, and it didn't work out. He crashed his car and a couple other things, and then I kind of folded it up again and looked at some new people, and finally got some guys together that worked out okay, but we did a few things here and there, and I let it go until about 2008 when I put it back together.
Yeah, well, you and Tom Harris came back for a while, didn't you?
No, and that's something that I never cared for either. Tom Harris was let go without my knowledge. And I was introduced to a band called Outer Drive, and they are going to be Frijid Pink, and you're going to play drums for them. And that's how it was put to me.
Oh, okay.
It's like, don't know the guys, never heard the guys, and that's the band I was saying that was very good live, but couldn't write.
So you have no control over the name Frijid Pink?
Well, here's what happened in the beginning. When we did the register of Frijid Pink, I wasn't old enough. You had to be 18. So I was 17. So my dad went down and registered it. Hey, no problem. As soon as you turn 18, we'll sign the name over to you. It's your band. Started in my house, my basement. There was no question that the band name should have been mine. Well, the last thing that happened when he died, the last line in the will was, for reasons you and I both know, and gave everything to my sister, who had nothing to do with music. Absolutely nothing. She had tried, but she had pissed off every band that she'd managed, and nobody had talked to her anymore. So that kind of ended on a real sour note. It cost me a lot of money to get the name of the band back.
So it sounds like the relationship between you and your dad at that point probably was not great.
Well, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he was getting old, and he'd do this and do that, and I need some help here. And the aluminum siding's coming off the back of the house. Can you fix it? Sure, no problem. And when he died, that shocker in the will about getting absolutely nothing for reasons you and I both know, I still don't know what that means.
He wrote that in there for you and I both know.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep, and she got the publishing companies. She got it all. She got everything that he owned, plus all the music, all the tapes, all the publishing companies, everything.
And you don't know.
And I didn't care about having the publishing companies. It would have been nice.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted that name back. So I went to an attorney and got the name back. It was not easy.
Your sister just wanted to keep it, eh?
Well, she didn't really fight it. Even without her fighting it, it cost a lot of money to go through all the steps she had to go through to legally get the name back. It was not a fun time.
No. Do you guys see each other still, or?
No, we don't talk.
Don't talk, okay. And what about you and your dad? I mean, did you ever figure out why that ended up being like that?
No. I didn't know it was bad until I seen the will. And that last statement, for reasons you and I both know, which I still don't know, I didn't know things were that bad between us.
Wow.
I mean, he'd been talking to me just like, we'd been getting along and, come and do this for me, no problem, I'll come and do it. And then at the end, it was, see ya.
Oh, man.
Too bad. Yeah, it was your band, but you don't get any of it.
Did you ever get an offer from another band to join them? Kind of like
I did here and there,
Yeah.
and I probably really screwed up by not doing that, because now I look back at it and, my God, I've been playing with Frijid Pink for, it was 50 years, 2007, and I'm still doing it.
Uh-huh.
And all these other musicians, these professional guys that I know have played with a dozen bands. It probably would have been nice that I had done that, but I didn't think about it like that. I thought about being loyal to the Pink.
Yeah.
And didn't care to do it, go to another group. So I stuck with Pink. And
I was just curious because it seems like you were well known. I mean, to this day, when your name comes up for that band, I wondered if like you were like Don Brewer, he jumps into Seeger, comes back to Grand Funk. You could jump in somewhere and come back to the Pink,
Don actually did a couple things for us.
Huh?
Matter of fact, I think the Thelma and Joyce things, the Dawn stuff, I think he did parts on those songs for us.
Wow.
Yeah, long time ago.
Wow.
And actually, did you kind of mend fences with Boudry, Kelly, a.k.a. Kelly Grain? It seemed to me you told me that Kelly Grain almost came back into Frijid Pink, and then it didn't work out.
Yeah, we actually had Kelly come back. He showed up to a couple practices, but he was sick at the time, and he couldn't make it. And then he'd make it, and then he couldn't make it, and we just finally forgot about it. He had kind of lost his voice a little bit, not bad enough that he couldn't be with the band, but his body wasn't up to it at the point.
Yeah, now he passed away here probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Gary's still around. I haven't seen or heard from him in many years. But
Is he still playing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know that he set up a studio at his house for a long time and had a bunch of musicians from downriver area come in and play, and a couple of them thought they were going to do something, and then it turned out, no, we're just doing this for the hell of it. Yeah. And they weren't real happy about that, because I guess they put a lot of time and effort into doing the recordings, and nothing happened.
So what's happening with Frijid Pink now? Are you guys are you still playing fairly regularly? Or?
No, we're not playing at all. We're just doing recording right now. And like I was telling you earlier, I've got 245s released this fall. Then I've got a whole new album worth of material to release probably next spring. And between then and now, I'm going to put together a greatest hits kind of one. I can't call it greatest hits because they're not hits, but my favorite songs.
Yeah.
I'm going to release an album with my favorite Frijid Pink stuff of the new group from 2008 till now.
Are you planning to play behind these recordings?
If we get called to do it, sure. Our keyboard player's down in Florida now, but he's more than willing to come back and do anything we want to do. Guitar player's down in Toledo. Yeah, we did lose our bass player, unfortunately. He had 3 or 4 different kinds of cancer, and he'd been fighting it for a long time, and he passed away a couple of years ago. Yeah, we got a replacement for him that sings as well as he did and plays as well as he did. So, yeah, the band could come back in a big hurry if we wanted to.
Okay. Is Tom Harris still around?
He is.
Okay.
Tom is.
Yeah, we had a chance. It was nice meeting him when we went to your house.
Yeah, he's got his own little group called the Audio Band, I believe. And they do some of the summer things, the street fairs and stuff like that. And he's having a good time.
So is it mostly like covers?
Yeah.
Playing hits of the day and so on?
Well, yeah, I think he was doing some originals there. But I did ask him if he wanted to come back. And he said he wasn't really interested. He didn't want to go touring and stuff. Mm-hmm. I said, no, that's fine. I mean, we're still friends. In fact, I was just over his house a couple months ago. One of the old fans got a hold of me and had some still shots. Probably 24 still shots of the band back in Vibration days.
Wow.
And they were really cool shots. So she made copies for me and him, and I took them home, gave them to him, and there were pictures we'd never seen before.
Yeah.
So they were pretty cool.
Somebody actually brought a camera to one of your
Yeah,
gigs.
can you believe that?
We were talking about that, yeah. There was never cameras around.
One of the lady friends, of course.
Okay, very
But
good.
yeah, I wish we'd have brought cameras to this stuff.
Well, yeah, you think back, it just was never anything, I can't ever remember going anywhere where somebody brought a camera with them.
And of all people, Tom Wright actually worked with the band taking pictures of us in the later days of Frijid Pink with the original band. And I don't know what happened to those pictures. There was some really cool stuff. They'd project like a lion's head on a screen, and they'd put our face inside the lion's head. And it was neat stuff, and that stuff disappeared. I've never seen it since. And there was a lot of it done. So I don't know what happened to any of it.
Yeah, Tom Wright, I don't know, maybe his photos, a lot of guys, that were taking pictures back then, their photos are in archives, sometimes at universities and
Never thought about
so on.
that.
Yeah, it might be in the case with Wright. I don't know.
And
Because he was a guy that was right around the Detroit area, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did run into him probably about 10 years ago. I didn't get the chance to ask him because I was going to go back to talk to him about it when there weren't so many people around. And he left before. I think he was in a wheelchair at the time.
Oh, okay.
So he left out of there, and I didn't get a chance to talk to him about it. But yeah, I'd really like to know what happened to all those pictures. They were pretty cool.
Yeah, they've got to be somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No photographer's going to throw stuff away.
No,
that's
they
for
don't. They
sure.
don't go in the trash.
Yeah.
Wow. So what did you do throughout the rest of the 70s, 80s, into the 90s? Just Frijid Pink here and there and work around that? Or how did you go about it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you keep your car career going around the band?
Well, 17 and a half years at Chrysler. But yeah, after the first few years at Chrysler, I put it back together. We did some recordings. We did some great stuff. We had a keyboard player. His name was Laren Michaels. I believe he's still around. And he had a studio in his house, and we put together quite a few songs. Really, really good stuff. Should have been released. Matter of fact, we were listening to some stuff on the way here today. I said, could have been a hit. Could have been a hit. Yeah, could have, should have, would have.
Yeah.
But some of the new stuff that you haven't heard yet, the new stuff that I just gave you, you're going to be shocked at the material itself.
Yeah. Now, did you record that like in your own studio?
Yes. Yep.
Now, if I remember correctly, you had a studio in your house.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yep. And got to do things my way for a change. Got the big keyboard sound, got the harmonies, everything's there. The music writing was incredible, upbeat, happy stuff. Always a blues song, always a love song, and everything. Every album I ever did always had a love song and a blues song. Still kept to that tradition, but a lot of the song was just straightforward, good radio music. Never could get anywhere with it.
Had you ever went back to the kind of like the formula that you utilized in the debut with the House of Rising Sun, just taking a song and like, well, you did the same thing with Heartbreak Hotel, just kind of making the song yours with your own.
No.
Okay, that seemed to be kind of like a trademark a little bit of Frijid Pink.
Yeah, well, you think about that, and most people frown on it, or a lot of people frown on it, I should say. And you look at Linda Ronstadt, and it's like, well, she made a lot of money doing that.
Sure.
But it wasn't what I wanted to do.
Oh, okay.
We had some really good writers, and the songs that were coming out were so good that just didn't care to do that.
Yeah.
Just wanted to do and nobody in the band actually at that point wanted to do any covers.
Did you ever meet Eric Burden, the Animals, or any of those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah? Were
I
they
don't
cool?
remember what year.
Were they cool about everything? Like, hey, man, a nice version. Or
Well, I met Eric Burden,
Yeah.
and he liked our version.
Awesome.
I was surprised to hear that.
That's so cool.
But yeah, he did like it. I didn't meet the rest of the band. I don't remember where it was at.
Yeah.
And through the years, I mean, just so much crazy stuff. I got a million stories.
That's what we're here for.
I'll give you one good one. We're recording the second album, Defrosted. We're at Studio Media Sound in New York, New York. And we're staying at Lowe's Midtown. And this whole floor we were on, it was all musicians. Let me think who was there. Janis Joplin, holding company, was on the floor. The Guess Who was on the floor at the time. Satch, the bass player, Tom Harris, his nickname. He had a little amp, and he was practicing his bass guitar, and it was real low. And we get a knock on the door. It's like, oh, who the hell knows we're here except for the band, right? And they can just come in. So we answered the door. It's Gordon Lightfoot. Can you turn your bass amp down a little bit? I said, no problem. I said, Tom, stop. That night, my dad was a cop in Allen Park for a long time, and he kept his badge after he retired. And he was on the road with us for that recording session. That night, somebody hit every room on the floor, robbed us.
Really?
Now, I was of mind every time Satch came in the room, Tom Harris came into the room, he always partied with them till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd hear him come in, I'd get up and put the chain on the door. So I got to put the chain on the door. We didn't get hit that night. Every other room got hit, and they hit my old man, and they opened his wallet and saw the badge, and they dropped the wallet right on the floor and walked out. Now, they hit one of the other rooms. We had another band there. I think maybe the Rumor or Springwell was with us. And one of those guys woke up and saw the person in the room. And, what are you doing here? And they just left in a big hurry. But, nobody caught him or anything. Every room got hit. New York, New York,
Yeah.
We had a great time down in the lobby, though, watching the hookers duck in and out of the hotel because the cops would come by. They duck in, and they talk to us, and the cops would go, and they go back out on the street again.
Wow.
For us, I mean, we're 20 years old, and,
Sure.
we never seen this before, so it was really cool. See this,
Life in the big city.
see this cop, cab, hits this motorcycle cop. His bike is parked on the side, knocks his bike over, gets out of the cab, bitches at the cop, gets back in the cab, and drives off.
Wow.
The cops just standing there like, what?
Oh,
Did
my
he
God.
just do that? Yeah. Crazy
That's a
stuff.
wild story because you said Gordon Lightfoot, Janis Joplin, Guess Who, and there's that video of the train tour through Canada where I think
Right.
the Guess Who was on a bill, Joplin was on the whole train tour with the Grateful Dead, and they stopped at Lightfoot's in Toronto. They must have come through on something.
Yeah.
That was around the late 70, I think.
We did a
70,
lot of
something, yeah.
gigs with the Guess Who down south.
Yeah.
And Paul Revere and the Raiders. That's another story that doesn't include, it's not Frijid Pink, but Tom Harris's sister always wanted to meet Paul Revere. So they got invited up to the hotel. Well, they're walking down the hallway to knock on the door, and all of a sudden the door opens. The band takes Mark Lindsay, strips him, throws him out in the hallway, and locks the door behind him. And there's Judy standing here with her husband. She got to see more than she wanted to see.
Oh. Yeah, what the heck was that name of that movie? Was it
I've got
Festival
it.
Express?
The Festival Express, yeah.
Okay.
I have
I've
that on
never seen
DVD. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the band,
The band, right?
Joplin and Rick
Yeah.
Danko singing.
Yeah.
No, I think one of the biggest things that I regret that we didn't do that we were asked to do, and we had done 2 upstate New York things that year, and we were invited to Woodstock, and we turned Woodstock down to go to Australia. I mean, it was either another farm upstate New York or Australia. What would you do?
Right.
I mean, we went to Australia, but who knew it was going to be Woodstock? But we were invited to do it.
Incredible story. Wow. And there's another one, Joni Mitchell. She was invited to do it, and then something happened there. And she was also part of that group in that tour too.
Yeah, they were. She was scheduled to do Dick Cavett, and they were afraid that maybe she couldn't get a helicopter back, because of all the chaos at Woodstock. So yeah, she missed out, but she wrote the song Woodstock while she was sitting in her hotel room. So
who's the Beatles producer? Do you remember?
George Martin.
George Martin.
Okay, London Records offered him up to us for 20%.
Wow.
My old man said no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Think about that one.
Yeah, that would have George Martin's name at that point.
We'd have been over the top.
I mean,
just like that.
Yeah.
that was gold. Yeah, definitely.
Did you do any festivals when you got back to the States though, or any big shows? Like,
yeah, we did a lot of stuff.
what was some of your favorite ones?
Well, I got a frame of 4 pictures of me doing my drum solo at the Montreal Forum. We got a candlelight standing ovation. Now, we didn't know what that meant. Now, we're freaking out thinking, wow, this is our first time way up in Canada. We're at the Montreal Forum. They hate us. No, it was the opposite. There'd only been 2 times before us, John Lennon and Led Zeppelin, that had a candlelight standing ovation. We were the third group.
Wow.
People just don't know this stuff.
Yeah, that's something I've never even heard of.
People tell me I should write a book, and
Well, there you go.
That's why I'm glad you're telling your story here.
I probably need to. I don't even know how to start it. I
Yeah.
had a girl from down south bug me for years about it, and she just got sick and called me and says, I really want to write that book for you, but I don't think I'm going to be able to now, and you should get a hold of somebody and write that book. And I said, if I even knew how to start putting an outline together, it'd be cool, but
Yeah, it really helps to have somebody that's done it before kind
you
of
really
be
need
a
somebody to
guide
work
for
with
you.
you.
Yeah, just let you tell your story and
mean,
give you some
I can write down a
advice
bunch
on
of
how to
stuff,
do
but
it.
it's-
Yeah, it's not
it's
easy
just
putting a
stories
book
of what
together.
happened,
You guys' name comes up a lot when I've talked to Pete Woodman, or I've talked to Bobby Balderrama. Pete Woodman would tell me you guys did some shows with Stoney and Meatloaf or something, or
Oh, yeah.
Meatloaf, and when they got back in town,
Yep.
they connected with you guys. I remember Pete tells me those stories a lot.
Yeah, in town and out of town.
So you guys did that was a
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's we were doing this place called After Dark in Tonawanda, New York, right by Buffalo. Right by Buffalo, and Catfish and us. We'd go in between 2 different clubs. There was another club, and we'd go see them when we were there. And I don't know if they ever came to see us, but we hooked up on a road like that with a lot of bands. It was a fun thing to do.
Catfish Hodge.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Detroit.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Rick and I were talking about this before we came into the studio, but Frijid Pink played Rollaire
Oh,
at
here.
the first pop festival that was held at Rollaire in 1969. So this was before House, before the first album came out, and I've got a poster of it, and we're going to do
you really?
it isn't a big poster. It's more like a handout, a flyer
Yeah.
to advertise it. We'll probably blow it up and make it a little bigger and put it on that display. But not only you guys played there for the first time, but Pete's band, the Popcorn Blizzard,
that one with Meatloaf.
played there with Meatloaf, and Susie Quattro's band, the Pleasure Seekers, were on there.
Wow, speaking of Quattro, Mike Quattro booked a lot of big jobs back in the day. He did
Yeah,
that
in fact, he
Cincinnati
promoted
Pop
that
Festival.
show.
Saugatuck.
Yep, he did.
Yeah.
He did a lot of stuff back then.
Yeah, he was involved in that pop festival here in Bay City.
Right.
And the reason we probably weren't here is we were on the road.
Sounds like you guys were just ahead of that curve of.
Well,
lot
it
of
hurt
bands.
us though.
Did it? Yeah.
Thinking most people here thinking that we were just stuck up in fools because we weren't partying with everybody. Them not knowing that we weren't doing it because we didn't want to. We just weren't here. And not being here actually hurt us a lot in the local scene.
locally.
Yeah,
I think the same thing happened to Grand Funk Railroad.
probably. Yeah.
You know, because they hit big really quickly, and really weren't part of didn't come up through the Detroit scene really like a lot of bands did.
I giggled there a little bit because I think the last time we did a gig with Grand Funk, I think it was in Canada. I can't be sure. But we were way up, probably 10th, 12th floor, something like that in this hotel. And they were right down a couple of rooms from us. We were having a paper airplane contest. The windows in the hotel actually opened. And they don't do that anymore.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And we were making paper airplanes out of telephone book paper and the note paper and we'd put our little name on it and we'd throw them out the window. Well, little did we know, we had our roadies go down to follow the paper airplanes to see which one went the farthest. Little did we know, probably out of 1,000 of them, 980 of them were right down at the bottom of the building. The whole front of the hotel was paper airplanes when you walked outside. We thought they were going forever, It must have been a downdraft or something. And all the planes were right down at the bottom of the building. It was funny.
With Grand Funk.
Yeah, Grand Funk.
Man, now did you guys do any of the when Grand Funk took off? I mean, that wasn't too long after you guys. Did you get to jump on the bill with them and do some shows?
We did some shows together.
Yeah, outside of Canada.
I do remember one show. We played in a tent, a huge tent, a really, really big tent, and we were around the back. They were playing. They were on stage playing. We were waiting to go on, and we went all the way to the back of this huge tent. They were so loud we couldn't stand it.
Oh,
and I mean, we're in a band.
Yeah,
and I mean,
yeah,
they were just so incredibly loud. We had to walk away. It was killing us. I do remember that. That was
West Amps.
It's well, I got 6% hearing in my left ear because my bass player has always been on my left side. It was hurting our ears. And then there was guys with their head in the speaker.
Oh,
I'm thinking, wait a minute, how's he doing this?
Right. Oh.
And they did it. I mean, they did it constantly. Every show we had these guys with their head in the speakers.
Did you ever have a moment of starstruck?
Did a lot of cool things. And one of the coolest things, I think, you watch the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, all the girls screaming and this and that and everything, and you think, wow, that's really cool. And you're in an era now that you're really not part of that anymore. They're not doing that anymore, except Cobo Hall. When we did Cobo Hall, and we came out with our satins and stuff on, we felt good. You know how you feel good and you put a nice suit on? It was that kind of feeling. Well, Tom and I wanted to see what the stage looked like from the crowd. So there was this hallway, and it was locked off. We had the gate that went across. Well, the lock wasn't done, so we undid the lock, and we kind of snuck around. We didn't see anybody. There was nobody there. So we opened the door to look down on the stage, and all of a sudden we hear screaming. Well, they're screaming for us. They got my sleeve off my coat.
Whoa.
And I think they got part of Tom's shirt, and we made it back in and did the lock on the gate. And I think that was pretty exciting. At least for me, I thought it was pretty cool.
After the Australian thing too, that story. Wow.
Yeah. No, we had some good moments. Yeah.
When I said starstruck, I guess I should have said when you met somebody that you were like, "This is a hero."
Well, when we did the president thing, Sammy Davis Jr. came up to me. He says, "Kid, you're coming with me." He was blind in one eye. I'm blind in one eye. He took me on a yacht behind the barge where the FBI people were, and we partied. And that's when he was married to the blonde. And this boat had to be 110 feet. I mean, and he just grabbed a hold of me, put his arm around my shoulder. Said, "Kid, you're coming with me." I'll never forget that.
Amazing.
He signed me his autograph on a, I don't know, 5x7. I still have that autograph.
Oh.
It was like unbelievable. Got to meet Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Him and, when we did the president thing, I mean, there were a lot of big groups there. Sammy Davis, Frank Sinatra. You don't get any bigger than that.
No.
Yeah.
I think there's one guy that I really wanted to meet that I didn't get to. That was Dean Martin.
Yeah. Right.
So, I mean, but Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow. I guess so.
Did you ever guest on anybody's records as a drummer, like a secret
No.
playing or anything?
Nope, never did.
No. Okay.
And I do remember the first time we went on an airplane after House came out. We did a film special with John Biner out in the middle of the desert in Nevada. And I remember flying in. The first thing we heard when we got off there was Norman Greenbaum,
Spirit of the
Sky, which hadn't hit here yet. Yeah, so this was new to us. And we're thinking, what the hell is that, a backwards boogie?
Yeah.
And we did
Now, the
this.
John Biner thing, was that a TV show?
It was. And they were supposed to send us a copy of it. Well, we never got the copy.
Oh, boy.
Until about 5 years ago. Somebody out in California sent me a copy with their name across it because they got to keep the copy. And if I wanted a copy without their name across it, I had to send them money.
Oh, well.
But I got a copy of it, and it was really cool because it was done in a mining town where they still had sarsaparilla bottles, original ones, on the walls on these wooden shelves and stuff. The mine itself was filled with water. We couldn't get in it, but there were mining cars there. We went in the beginning of the day, and it was a little chilly out, but not bad. And then we were baking. It was an all-day thing to do this. And it was done semi-professionally. They had the cameras on the rollers, where they rolled the cameras back and forth. Yeah. And when you see it, you can tell it was done professionally because of the color and the way it was done and everything. And the shots they got were like unlike anything that we had ever taken part in. It was
Do you remember what you performed?
House.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure.
Did house, and I was twirling my drumstick, and they got some really cool shots, and I will get you a copy of that.
Yeah, it's not on YouTube then.
You know what?
There's so much
be.
stuff.
It might be on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll have to call that up.
But yeah, John Biner special, and I was kind of bummed we didn't get the copy right away, but after all those years, you get it and you look at it and say, wow.
Yeah, there's one on YouTube
really
of you guys doing house. I'm not sure if it's Swinging Time or Upbeat or one of those shows. Oh, okay.
Now, Robin and I, matter of fact, Diane and I went to that DJ show. They called it the Last Disc Jockey Show. It was out in Novi, honey? Yeah, and everybody was there. I mean, Dick Burton was there, Robin Seymour was there, all the old jocks from around here. Paul Cannon even came into town to do it. It was just such a cool thing. I mean, all these guys were there, and we got pictures, and Bozo was there.
Okay.
Huh?
Jack Scott.
Oh, yeah, Jack Scott was there.
Oh, one of our big faves.
A lot of famous people there.
Yeah.
And right after that, everybody just kind of, Robin Seymour died, Jack Scott died, and what was his name?
Bozo died.
Yeah, Art Survey, he died. And that friend of yours, Tom, what was his last name?
Pillow Talk. He did Pillow Talk in Detroit.
Yeah, I can't remember his last name, but
Johnny Williams.
yeah, Johnny Williams. He was there, and he's passed away since then. So a lot of people gone since that show. And what was that? That was about 6 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
3, 4, oh, it was right around COVID because Tom died of COVID.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that was a really cool show to attend, and a lot of people, a lot of musicians didn't go to that show. I don't know why. It was advertised, but yeah, that was a sad time to learn that all those people had passed away just within a couple of years after that show.
I'm glad you made it.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was a jinx that they called it the last show, and that was the name of it. It was the Last Disc Jockey Show, and it turned out to be the last show for all those people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sounds a little ominous right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little strange, but not the last show for Frijid Pink.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
still
that's great.
kicking. Yeah, we got some great new stuff coming out, so I can't wait.
Where do you play if people were to go want to check out a show? If they hear this podcast, they say, man, where's he play? Just around Detroit, or
We're not doing anything live.
so there is no? But you might, right?
If it comes up, yes.
Okay.
We'll do it. Yeah, I'll give the guys a call.
Okay.
They'll be here like that. Like I say, I've already got a bass player lined up to do that if it happens.
Okay.
Danny Grimm, excellent vocals, excellent bass player. He'll sit in with us, and it'll be a great show.
But there is more music coming, which is what you were referring
yes.
to, and
Brand new stuff.
And will you be working on getting that lost fourth album that's been a pain in your side to find a way to
I
get
haven't
released?
probably listened to that in 40 years.
It doesn't matter to you at this point?
It doesn't really matter, no. At one point it did when I first got the name back and wanted the publishing companies and stuff, but it doesn't matter anymore. The new stuff is entertaining to me. Well, it's the bag that I wanted to be in forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's very keyboard oriented, a lot of harmonies, a lot of great harmonies. 2 lead guitar players, 2 different sounds, 2 different styles, and those guys blended together so perfectly. And when I started the band 2008, I actually had to replace a couple of guys. And from 2010 on, have you ever heard of a band that didn't have an argument or a fight? Not one.
No way.
Not one. I mean, we were so comfortable with each other, and the way things worked out, the guy would bring a song in, and we'd work with the song. We would record the song. We recorded our practices, and we'd work on it. The guy would come back and say, well, we need to do this here. So we'd add it in. If it worked, great. If it did, we'd take it back out. But there were no arguments, no bad words, no hostilities of any kind. And all the years that we were together, I mean, it was incredible. I've never seen anything like it before. And the groove that we had, didn't matter what we were playing. The groove was there. Between the bass player and myself, it worked fine.
Amazing. Do you still get a lot of fans from around the world reaching out to Facebook and finding you? And
here and there, yeah.
I'm sure you have some legendary fans that are like, oh my gosh, there he is.
It's funny. We did a show in Okoboji, Iowa. Just the name itself. I mean,
really? Where the heck is that?
What the hell is that? This town, we flew into Chicago, and then we had to catch Pelican Airlines to go to this other airport by Okoboji. And it's a twin prop Rolls-Royce engine plane, DC-9 or whatever the hell they were. Scary. You're coming in the runway sideways like this. And, you're looking at the runway, and the pilot, I don't know where the hell he's at, but it's looking like I'm landing the plane. And there's nothing around. It's all cornfields. Well, we're playing in this town. It's called Okoboji, Iowa. And we land, and it's a taxi stand for the airport. That's all it is. It's like a taxi stand, something we smoke in at the plant. That's all it was. There was nothing else. So we pull into town, and it's a resort town. There's a carnival there that was built in the early 1900s. Still had some of the original rides, that animation stuff that they do, It was probably 10 feet long, still worked. They had the guy, it was a kid that was taking care of it when it was first built. He was still there taking care of this stuff. And it was like something out of a movie because there was an arcade downstairs and a huge dance hall upstairs. And we're thinking, wow, we're going to be playing to nobody. Well, it starts to get dark out, and they're coming in like crickets. They're everywhere.
Whoa.
And we get upstairs, and the place was jammed.
When was this? When was this?
1970.
70.
And I remember I spent a lot of money there because they rented boats. It was right on a lake. And I spent a lot of money renting boats, had a great time. We were there for like 5 days. So we had, like, in between the jobs, we figured, hell, we'll just take a little vacation, do that. And it was the first time all of us were in one room. It was like a room that would sleep 10 people. So the roadies, the managers, everybody was in the one room. It was very unusual, but a great time.
And then somebody from that wrote you, I assume?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yes. Somebody got a hold of me on Facebook. Said, blah, blah, blah. Do you remember Okoboji, Iowa? No, I don't remember it all. And, well, yeah, we were at that show, me and my girlfriend, and we just loved you guys. What are you doing nowadays? So I turned around to the new music and stuff, and she got back to me. She said, oh, it's great, man. I love this stuff. When you're playing back out here, let me know.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, there's the occasional thing that happens like that. Not a lot, but it feels good when it happens.
I love that. Thank you for sharing your stories.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah, Rick, it was so great having you here. We appreciate you and
you've
Diane
been
coming to Bay City.
We've been looking forward to having you for a long time. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It was
All right, very good.
Thank you, Rick.
Out of time.
On behalf of our hosts, we would like to thank the Michigan Rock Legends Hall of Fame, our guests, and especially our listeners. The MMHP is found on the 989 network, as well as all familiar podcast hubs. Up-to-the-minute information, as well as Dr. J and Sir Fred's Michigan Music Songs of the Week, can be found on the MMHP's Facebook page, /MMHP989. You can connect with Scott at scottbakermusic.com, Dr. J at michiganrockandrolllegends.com, Sir Fred at fredrife.com, and Mr. Mike on YouTube as MRBTEE1.
And on behalf of Dr. J, Sir Fred, Mr. Mike, and myself, Scott Baker, we would like to thank Eddie Switek for being the